welcome to another edition of our roundtable discussion on Explore Nigeria. I'm Sheyola Olubayo, your uncle. I'm here with Mr. Adebayo Obilade.
Thank you so much for having me.
So we'll be discussing about national electric grid collapse. Now we need to understand first what is national electricity grid.
Okay. The national electricity grid, the way it is designed, it means a kind of coordination.
Okay.
Nigeria generates power from different sources, but to transmit it to different states across Nigeria, they first need to bring it to a point. Then from that point, which is called control center, and Nigeria has its control center. The main control center is in Osogbo, and from Osogbo, it distributes power to all the states of the federation. So the national grid itself, it just represents coordination.
Okay.
That's what it is.
So where is our own coordination in the country?
I've said it earlier that the main one is in Osogbo.
Okay.
Yes.
Where are we generating the electricity?
Of course, Nigeria is generating electricity from different sources. The hydroelectric power source, the main one is in Kanji. We have the Kanji Dam, we have the Shiroro Dam, and also there is one going on, the massive project going on now, the Mambila Power Project. Wow, that one is on course for now. And also, Nigeria generates power through gas.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
through all these power plants, the Ugeli, the Gerebu, the Afan power plant. So, and they are being powered by gas. So, those are the sources of power.
Now, with this explanation, then why are we always having national electricity collapse? Why are we always having this every time?
Of course, the national grid collapse is based on so many factors.
Okay.
And the number one factor is maintenance. Nigeria can't maintain all these facilities due to the fact that some of them are old, some of them are not being serviced properly, and another problem we encounter with this is we have limited power plants. Limited power plants in the sense that we have generating stations like Shiroro, Ganji, and the like. Those ones are hydro source. But whenever we are in a dry season like this, Nigeria rely so much on the gas power plant. And recently, whenever there is a problem with the source of the gas, the pipeline supplying the gas to the power plant, definitely everything will break down. And also this issue of war in Ukraine and gas supply, increase in gas and all these things, they are affecting the gas supply to the power plants.
So,
And
are you justifying the fact that this electricity grid collapse? Are you justifying the fact that it's not really government fault?
of course it is government. Of course it is government, but the fault is not with the government alone. The fault still has to come to the companies that acquire.
Before you continue, I want to a question just pop in now. The question is, now we are talking about national grid, national grid. Can't we have state grid? Can't we have private grid? So that it will help the national grid, so that it will not the level at which electricity is generating will increase, and there will be more constant electricity in the country.
Of course, definitely yes. As a private company, as an individual, you can generate your own power.
But can they
But when it
commercialize?
comes, when you can't commercialize it. And with the law in Nigeria today.
So states cannot
But
produce
for
electricity.
states can generate electricity. But the issue there is, even as a state, if you generate electricity, you still have to send it back to the national grid, and they will have to distribute it to all the states.
There was
So
one
the fact that you are
from-
generating electricity doesn't mean that it is exclusive to your state. No, it's going to the national grid for the entire state in Nigeria.
Although I've been on this earth for a lot of some period of time. So that's one time I heard that electricity generation was mainly for the national government, federal government only. So I want to know when the state starts to produce electricity, although they are still going to, according to what you said, they say they are still going to send the electricity back to the national grid. But when the state starts to produce electricity.
This started when Tinubu, the then Lagos governor, challenged the federal government that they should allow state to be generating power, electricity. And there was back and forth then, and eventually the federal government agreed that state on their own can generate electricity. But we still have to go back to the national grid so that it won't be like, of course you want to ask me why the state, as a state you generate electricity and you are still sending it back to the national grid. It's for equity, it's for justice, because the fact that you generate power, what about the states that couldn't? So the fact that you are not generating power, you shouldn't just hold on to the entire thing. It should still go to the national grid to be distributed to all parts of the country. So
Okay.
the problem is, what is limiting us in this country now is that there is no competition in the power sector, because there is no interest in the sense that if I know that if I generate power, the power is still going to the national grid, I cannot make use of the power to myself, to my people, then definitely what will now motivate me to now start pumping money, generating electricity. So that is the discouragement. That is a kind of a factor limiting electricity generation in Nigeria today.
Hmm. Now, do you think, okay, the first question is, are we sending electricity to any of the neighboring countries?
Of course, yes. Of
Um,
course, yes. And the main country we are sending electricity to is Nigeria.
Ghana is not there.
No.
I thought we were okay.
It's Nigeria.
So, do you think sending electricity to Niger, do you think it's affecting our own consumption of electricity in Nigeria?
Not really. It's not affecting us in any way. I think as a country, we are not just being serious about it. We are being serious as a government. If the government decide that yes, they want to put an end to this menace, it's not rocket science. Other countries have power. Ghana there, they have power. South Africa, they have power. Not to even talk of UK, US and the like. Let's talk about our neighbor here, Ghana. They have power. But the government is not sincere enough. The companies handling the power generation and distribution, they are not sincere enough. Even we the people, we are not sincere. We bypass, we look for a way to manipulate, and we make it difficult for these companies to even make headway with their investment. So the problem with power in this country is so wide.
Is there subsidy in electricity?
Of course, yes, but government is making effort to make sure that they take away the subsidy, because subsidy is one of the reasons those companies insist that they cannot really invest into the power sector, although they've acquired all these power plants and the like, but they cannot make massive investment because the electricity itself is being subsidized, and not until they start charging people the exact amount of electricity they consume, then these companies will not be willing to actually invest into. Let me give you an example. It's just like refinery. Refinery in Nigeria is not lucrative due to the fact that in the world market, I can't sell fuel in Nigeria at a world price. I will have to sell it at a subsidized price. But once the government give an assurance to people like Dangote that if you go into refinery, definitely we will be buying the fuel from you at the world price, not as a subsidized price, then people cannot be motivated. Okay, let me go and have a refinery. Likewise, all these power plants, all these distribution companies, if government doesn't withdraw, then there will be problem. It's like all these recharge cards. Government have nothing to do with charge card, so MTN is at liberty to invest, is at liberty to charge people for whatever they consume.
Okay. On
So
this same subsidy, in my own understanding of this subsidy, I believe when electricity is subsidized, the electric company is charging, let's assume they are charging me 200 naira per unit. I believe if they are being subsidized, federal government is paying the balance of that
exactly,
unit
exactly.
to them. So to me, I don't really think they are not really making profits because to justify to no not to justify to go against what you just said now, governments are paying them subsidy amount, at the same time they are also charging the public a certain amount. Adding the certain amount with the subsidy will give you the exact amount that is needed for the unit. So how are they not making profits?
Of course they are not. They are not, in the sense that you and I know how Nigeria is as a country. Once government says they will give you a particular amount, forget about it. It's not coming to you.
So are you saying that governments are not paying them subsidy?
And the government itself still has a hand. It's not that government is selling these companies to these people 100%. They just sell a larger share of it, a larger part of it to these people.
Okay, so what is the disadvantage of them removing the subsidy to the public and advantage of them removing the subsidy to the company?
Of course, we have to be realistic. Although subsidy has its own advantage in the sense that to help the poor, people that cannot actually afford it, definitely it becomes so easy, it becomes so bearable for them. But in another sense, if you look at it, it's limiting our progress as a nation.
But let's look at the developed country, Germany, UK, all these countries. There is subsidy in their health sector, there's subsidy in their power sector, there's subsidy in all these sectors, and they are doing fine. So what is not making us do better?
Of course, because it is well planned, things are well organized, there is data. If I'm subsidizing, I know what I'm subsidizing for. Imagine Nigeria subsidizing for petrol and we don't even know the amount of liters we consume per day.
So we don't know the amount of electricity we
So
are
there is
consuming
no
per day.
data. So when you talk about subsidy in this country, it's a kind of a dark arrangement that you don't actually know what is actually happening.
Okay.
So you cannot.
Back to that same question. There was one time, like 2 weeks ago, the power sector, the distribution company of this Ibadan, they were saying that the number of electricity they are receiving has dropped by 50% from 600 and something megawatts to 300 and something megawatts. Now, if you are saying there is no data, how are they to know that this particular electricity will not be enough? Since they don't have data, they should not be assuming for the public that this electricity will not be enough.
No. In terms of generation, I think they can monitor that. I think they have data for that. In terms of distribution, I think they also have. But where we are having problem with data is the consumption end. We, the people, ourselves. You know, Nigeria has been designed in such a way that people just build houses anyhow, people just connect light anyhow, and there is no proper documentation. So that is even the problem that these people are facing. And you said the light they are giving to these companies, it reduce. Definitely it will reduce because we are not generating up to what we actually need.
To generate. Okay.
That's the problem.
Now that we are talking about the national electricity grid collapse, what can we do in conclusion now? Now we are trying to conclude now. What can we do to reduce the rate of this grid collapse and increase the rate of electricity consumption in Nigeria?
Okay, good. I think this is even the area we need to focus more. The first thing, we need a sincere government, a government that will take it as the main project. And the first thing is legislation. Legislation in the sense that in terms of consumption, there shouldn't be sabotage. Let these companies that have acquired these electricity companies, let them make profit so that they can also invest, so that they can recoup their money. The second part of it on the side of government is government to create an enabling environment for generation and distribution. Government should liberalize power in the sense that state should be able to generate power and at the same time make use of the power they generate. It will bring competition, it will bring growth. Not until we get to that stage, definitely there won't be progress. Definitely I know some states won't be able to generate, while some states will generate power easily. Then we will not sit down again, okay, this state has has been able to generate this one has been able to generate, okay, this one that can't generate, how can we now help? That's where federal government should now come in. They should open it up. There should be competition. Number two, there should be massive investment in distribution, the distribution of power itself. Because even if you generate and you can't distribute, there is a problem. And when we talk about distribution, it has to do with all these 32 kVA, all these big transformers, all these either pillars, all these, as in the facilities needed, the infrastructures needed to distribute power. That's what we mean by distribution. And these companies need to invest massively into distribution. Not, but they cannot invest massively into distribution until they have an assurance. Assurance in the sense that they will be able to get their money back. They will make profit. And how can they make profit? That now comes down to we the people. We the people also must be sincere. You don't need to bypass, you don't need to sabotage, you don't need to start beating their officials, and all these things has to stop. All of us has our own responsibility. We have to come together, we have to make it work. So that's how we can enjoy power in this country.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bayo.
You are welcome.
Now, this will be concluding today's round table discussion by Expo Nigeria. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to turn on the post notification. See you next time. Thank you so much.